Hello, class. I wanted to record a video from Monday's lesson just in case you needed some extra help. So Monday's lesson was taking a three variable equations, right? So three of them, systems of equation, and setting them up into a matrix. And matrices, we're just going to do them by the calculator. There are other ways to do them, but we are just going to learn how to do them in the calculator. So if you have a 3 by 3 right here, three variables, three equations. You want to make sure the variables line up. So you want the x's in one column, the y's in the second, the z in the third, and you want the constants on the right side of the equal sign. If it's not set up this way, you need to rearrange it. So if for some reason x was on the right side, you would need to do the opposite operation and bring it on over to the left side. Okay, if it doesn't exist, so let's say like right here, I have 9x plus 3y. Let's say this minus 4z just wasn't even here. Like it was just 9x. So the top one was just 9x plus 3y equals 37, right? So for it to match up to the other two equations, we would actually have a 0 here for z, okay? And so I just want to put that in there that sometimes you forget the 0, but you need to have a 0 if you put it into the matrix, okay? So let's set this up. So the way we set it up is we take the x values and we put them into the first column. And so our first column are our x values. It is the values, the coefficients, so it's the number in front of x. So in this case, for our example, we have 9, and then we have 4, and then we have 1, because it's got x, so right here there's just a 1 in front. The second column will be your y's, and so in this example we have 3, another 3, and a negative 5. It's important to bring over that negative, okay? And then my z's go in the final column. So I have negative 4, 7, and 8, okay? And these are for your matrix A that we're going to put into the calculator, okay? So this is how we're setting up matrix A. To set up matrix B, because we also need matrix B in a minute, set up matrix B, those are the answers. So those are the things on the right side of the equal sign, your constants. And so in this case, we have 37, 16, and negative 31. And so this is matrix B. Okay, we're going to enter these into the calculator. And so we have to enter them while we're naming them. And so we're going to name this matrix A. We're going to name this matrix B. And I want you to remember when we solve for equations, we always have to do the inverse operation. And so once we enter this into the calculator, once the information's in there, the final result will be the matrix A, the inverse of it. And inverse is this little negative 1 on top. The way that you find it on the calculator is it has an x to the negative 1, okay? This means inverse, okay? So the operation after we enter the information in is going to be matrix A, the inverse of it, times matrix B. And what comes out of that will be x, y, z. It'll be the answers to x, y, z. So what is the value of x? What is the value of y? And what is the value of z? So let's go ahead and do this in the calculator. Okay, so in the calculator, you want to go to matrices. And so matrices is right here, this little x minus 1, that's the inverse. But if you see mine's yellow, it's going to be second and that little inverse button. And it brings you here. We're entering information, so we're going to go to the edit. You have to enter 3 by 3. That means row by column. So for this example, it's 3 by 3. You could do it with a 2 by 2 as well, okay? And then I already have information in here, but I can go on top of it. So I'm going to hit 9, enter, and then it goes to the right. 3, enter, negative 4, enter. So far I've put in row 1. Now I'm going to go to row 2. 4, enter, 3, enter, 7, enter. And now row 3, 1, enter, -5, enter, and 8, enter. So now matrix A is in the calculator. I'm going to go back to the edit part. So I'm going to go back to second matrix. I'm going to go back over to edit. I'm going to go down to number 2 for matrix B. And we're going to put in matrix B. Matrix B is a 3 by 1. 3 rows, 1 column. And so in this case, my matrix B is 37, enter, 16, enter, and then -31, enter. So now I've put in matrix B. Okay. Now that I've gotten both matrices put in, I'm going to get out of here. So to get out, it's this little quit button. So it's second mode, and that quits, and I go back here. Now I'm going to grab the actual matrix where I entered the information. So I'm going to go back into the matrix, and now I'm just grabbing it. So instead of going to edit, I'm just going to stay on names, and I'm going to grab matrix A. I'm going to hit the inverse button, which is that X with the little -1 on top of it. And then I'm going to say times, and I'm going to go back into that matrix, second matrix, and I'm going to grab B. So it should look like the inverse of A times B. When I hit enter, these are my answers. The top one is X, the second one is Y, the bottom one is Z. So my answer for X is X equals 2, Y equals 5, and Z equals -1. And we are now done. All right, please let me know if you have any other questions. Thank you.